Gunfire extremely close, quite a lot of it. I head up to the roof. Yeah, wrecking something.
No, I'd keep your head down. Stuff like that, those bullets will fly. I know it sounds stupid, but just for shooting accidents.
Yeah, we're right.
Oh, they're not shooting at us, I know. But I'm just for fucking strays and shit.
Yeah. At 2 a.m. we got a call from the Australian consulate advising us that a Hercules was flying in the next day to evacuate all non-essential personnel.
We've been hearing shots very close to the house for the last 30 minutes. This is perhaps the fifth house that's been very close to our place tonight that's gone up in flames. The people in the area in this house that we see now, they're all local people. I feel a true sense of sadness and the people that we're leaving behind. All the afternoon or yesterday afternoon, we had people coming to the house. One man wanted to use the telephone to contact his son. Others have just parked their motorcycles, a car, a taxi in our driveway. They believe that our house will be safe because we're foreigners. Looks like we've pretty much decided to head out to the airport tomorrow and try and take the plane. I don't know how many nights like this you can handle.
We were informed that an escort would come and pick us up the next morning. And they turned up. There was an Australian officer and an Indonesian soldier in the front seat, and we all piled into the back.
Okay.
And off we went to the Australian consulate.
Head is returning to the consulate.
And that truck, it's wide, some buses and
A lot of people
kids.
left here.
Okay. Yeah. I remember them. Nice people, man. That lot. That's the Australian consulate in the compound there. We had a view of the road to the airport and could see all the traffic streaming by with goods and chattels, the plunder and the worldly goods of pro-Indonesian and Indonesian people. Then we were piled into trucks. There's Caroline. Dave in the background. And a lot of other UN vehicles taking people out to the airport or out of the country to Indonesia. There's Chris.
Do you mind being in the shot?
I don't mind.
Okay. Gotta ask.
It's quite a surreal experience travelling along in the back of an Indonesian army truck. All along the roadside, people were packing stuff into cars and trucks. And there's the big river you can see from the aeroplane. And there's Indonesian flags flying roundabout. They wouldn't be there for much longer.
If you want to try and get on with how you're going to go inside and talk to them.
Okay, let's do it.
I got a seat on the domestic flight. The other guys got onto the Hercules.
Ladies and gentlemen, looking for passengers for flight Unimed 1. Okay, what I'll do is I'll call that name. The situation we...
Hey, can we have your attention, please?
Okay.
It was pretty tense at the
The
airport.
situation we have is that we currently only have 30 other passengers for flight Aussie 1.
A lot of people trying to get out of the country.
From the Unimed 1 chalk and load them into the manifest for Aussie 1.
Here I am at Dili Airport. We've just arrived in the back of an army truck. There was a bit of a rush and a panic. We snuck out of the house so that the people who live in the house and own the house we're in still are afforded some protection. As long as the militias weren't attacking houses and that foreigners were in or weren't attacking foreigners, we were giving some protection. But gee, I felt bad when we left. The guy, you could tell it was like they were just, their safety net was gone. And that sort of applies across the board to the whole of East Timor now. The militias last night were firing before sunset, and shots going off all night, semi-automatic weapons going off all night. There were 7 houses burnt in our area. We're on top of the roof. We could see within a 400-yard radius they were moving from one house to another, and flames would rise up. One place there'd be shots, then a little later on flames would rise up over in another area of the suburb, and shots would ring out. This was happening all over Dili. You know, everyone's afraid it's going to be a bloodbath now and there are going to be no observers because the UN and non-government organisations like ours are a real pain in the arse for the militias. And we're gone now. It's a recorded history now that the independence vote went through here in East Timor. It's what the people wanted and there's nothing anyone can do about it. And Indonesia's days here are numbered. I just hope that it's not too bad in the next few weeks for the East Timorese people. Amazing time, amazing time.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of everybody.
But I'm happy to say the house we stayed in and the people who were there escaped being attacked, so that's some good news. And that's the end of the presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye for now.